Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another Minecraft video, and in this one we're going to be doing something ever so slightly different from my normal content because today we're going to be doing a bit of an experiment. As you guys know, recently I got myself a fairly beefy PC. I mean, I don't mean to brag, but this thing's absolutely ridiculous, especially for someone who purely makes Minecraft videos. Now I thought we'd experiment today and see if we can actually crash this new PC using Minecraft. It's going to be a bit of a challenge and things are going to get fairly silly here, but I think it should be good fun. So naturally, the first thing I thought is let's use TNT. So let's see what we can do right here. We'll place in our TNT, we'll get the F3 screen up, and let's see what happens to the frames per second. We're at 120 right now. We dropped, amazingly enough, we actually dropped 5 frames per second then, but let's face it, that doesn't really count as a crash, does it? So what I've done is I've constructed this thing right here. Now this is a big old wall of dispensers, as you can see. And each one of these dispensers is filled to the brim with TNT. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our way over to the input section and we're going to see how much damage we can do to both the environment and also my computer. All we have to do is grab ourselves a button, give it a press, and we will see what happens right here. Now first things first, frames have dropped a little bit, but I'm actually quite surprised that they're staying stable. And, well, despite quite a big frame drop right there, it seems to have managed it. We dropped down to 4 frames a second then, which is actually a lot better than I was expecting. But we're not done with the TNT dispenser just yet because I have decided to double it in size. Here is our original TNT wall, and here is the second TNT wall. All of them are hooked up via redstone, and this thing is ready to go. And I have to say, it looks very, very daunting indeed. I'm a little bit concerned for my PC right here. I have a feeling we might get a crash on this one, or at least we will hit 0 frames a second. So let's pop round the back once again. We'll place our button on this block right here, and if we give it a press, you should see that all of the redstone is activated, and that's a big frame drop. We've dropped down to 4 frames a second already. The explosion is a little bit taxing. We've hit 2 frames per second, and once again, it's managed it. Amazingly enough, my PC has actually managed to do this one, and by the look of things, it didn't. Oh, okay, there we go, it's loading in. Everything's sort of delayed and behind. Wow, that was very, very strange, and I'm still extremely impressed that this managed to work, even if there was clearly a few timing issues because, well, we've got quite a large chunk of our TNT area missing now. So I think we're going to move away from the TNT stuff for now. We're going to come back to it towards the end of today's video. But now we're going to be moving on to mobs. I want to see if I can crash my PC using chickens, just because, well, I think that'll be hilarious. So this is the little contraption that I've created. Here we have a dispenser running into a redstone clock with a bunch of hoppers and a bunch of chests on top of it. And inside those chests, we have got a ton of chicken spawn eggs. Now, all of these hoppers are running into the dispenser. Hopefully they will be able to keep it filled up. And all I have to do is I have to activate this lever right here, and that will begin the dispensing. Now this thing is very quick, and as you can see, the chickens are really flowing out, and my frame rates, well, it's doing a decent job as staying up there. However, we've already started dropping below my capped 120 frames a second. We're now down to 110, we've dropped to 60. This could be a tiny bit concerning. Are chickens going to be the thing that topples my computer? That's going to be hard to believe. The 1000 milestone has been passed. We're currently around about 40 frames a second, so clearly my computer is beginning to struggle here. I can actually hear the fans from the other room, but we're dropping to 30 frames a second. This might be the point where Minecraft begins to struggle massively. After around about 10 minutes of chicken dispensing, we have finally managed to get down to single digits. We're at 7 frames a second currently, and we have got about 2,500 chickens right here, which is pretty good going, but it has been about 10-15 minutes, which means that it is going to take a very long time indeed to crash my PC. So unfortunately, at this point in time, using this system, I don't think this is the solution. So how about we move away from chickens and start taking a look at items? I want to see if we can crash my PC using raw items alone. It's going to be a bit of an odd one. To speed things up a little bit, I've repurposed the TNT wall to give us a bunch of dispensers filled with a bunch of items. Now, if we head around the back and hit this button right here, you can see all of the items are dispensed from all of the dispensers, and it all lands on the floor. Now, it goes right the way across here, and as you just saw, my computer didn't even bat an eyelid at that. Now there is one slight problem with this, and that is the fact that we have got the 5-minute despawn timer to play against. So I think what I'm going to do is hook this up to a redstone clock so that we can make it really nice and fast, because otherwise, well, we're probably going to struggle to crash the computer. And in 3, 2, 1, and there we go. The item has been thrown into the hoppers, and we should now get a redstone clock running into all of the dispensers. There it is. They're all flying out onto the floor right the way across the line. And there is one thing that I hadn't really thought of here, which is the entity loading distance. I mean, we can't actually see off in that direction or off in that direction, so it only counts what you can see on the screen right here, but already my computer is visibly struggling both with the redstone and also the items being dispensed and falling. Right now, we are sat at around about 30 frames a second, but as soon as the items are in the air, it drops down to around about 17 frames a second until they all stack up together in their little stacks, and then it's totally fine. So by the look of things, no matter how many items we have on the floor here, my computer can handle it because of the way that Minecraft efficiently packs items when they're laying on the ground. Clearly I spoke a little bit too soon on that one, because after 5 minutes of item dispensing with the maximum number of items on the floor without all of them despawning, we have managed to get 2 frames a second. Now 2 frames a second, that is very slow. In fact, it just dropped down to 1 frame a second right there. But it's not crashing. We haven't completely crashed the PC, and Minecraft is still responding just about. So now we're going to move away from items, and we're going to take a look at redstone itself. I want to see if we can just crash Minecraft using pistons, repeaters, and the red stuff. So this right here is a line of pistons, this right here is a line of redstone, and that is a comparator clock. Flick the lever, and we get a horrible, horrible noise. Now this should be perfect for creating large quantities of lag. Even this little module right here is dropping us down to about 105 frames a second, which is fairly impressive. So let's multiply it by quite a large number and see what happens. Here goes. 3, 2, 1, and loading the world right now. Seems to be doing okay. We've got 6 frames per second already, and we haven't even started, which isn't the best news. All that seems to have happened is redstone seems to have slowed down. I mean, this is exactly the same comparator clock. Okay, this is exactly the same comparator clock that I just showed you. This is meant to fire every single redstone tick. That's how that's meant to work. Clearly, the redstone tick speed has just slowed down completely. The sun's still moving at a normal speed. Everything is still working as per usual. It's just the redstone's running slower, and all of our pistons are turning very, very transparent. Well, you know what? This is one result I really, really wasn't expecting. I thought this was going to be the one that really ruined the PC, but clearly that isn't the case. We're cruising around at a very smooth frame per second. In fact, it's almost like this isn't actually happening. I'm so surprised. There's so much redstone going on here. Why isn't my computer on fire? I feel like filing a complaint. So all of those there were child's play compared to what I've just created. Came up with an idea. You can see it in my inventory right now. Place a few sand like this, and then, yeah, sand falls. It's affected by gravity. You see that big black shadow there? It's a big old block of sand. Now, I refuse to believe that my computer is going to be able to survive this one. I mean, it's simple as that. There's no way that that's going to happen. It's simple. This much sand falling, well, quite frankly, it's going to be a beautiful sight, but also a very slideshowy sight as well. So let's just get the show on the road and update one of these blocks. I'm a little bit afraid I'm going to get Chill Blast on the phone already, preparing a replacement PC, because here we go. Wow, that looks amazing until, yep, the predictable has happened. We have already hit 1 frame a second. Could this be the thing that does it? I just saw 0 on the screen, and it's only going to get worse from this point. It does look incredible though, doesn't it? I mean, that is beautiful. Mathematically beautiful, and it's still working. I can still control the player just about. I'm looking around. I've just flown forwards for a little while. Let's see if that happens. It looks like it is. I'm surprised that we haven't crashed already. I thought we would have fully crashed out of the game, but I did just see not responding, so this could be the one. I'm going to try my best to keep you guys updated right here. Amazingly enough, the game is still somehow running. I have tried to exit the game and it won't actually let me at this point in time, which is a very bizarre crash indeed. But it is refusing to crash. Occasionally we're getting some updates on the screen. I don't know if I'd count that as a crash or not. I mean, look, you can see things are happening. If we left this for long enough, all of the sand from that block would end up on the floor, but I think I would probably die before that happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next one. We're going to pop him back over to TNT because, well, I feel like we've got some more work to do over there. So obviously, at the start of today's video, we took a look at some TNT dispensers. Now sadly, they didn't have the desired result. They weren't particularly very big. My idea was that we had a lot of TNT exploding at exactly the same time, creating a huge spike of lag that could potentially crash the game, but clearly that didn't work. So I have gone back to old school methods. This right here is a 200 by 200 cube of TNT, and all we're going to do is take our flint and steel, we're going to approach this thing, and we are going to light one of the TNT blocks. Now let's take a step back, hit F1, and see what happens. Right, it's going well, it's not going well. We have hit 0 frames a second almost instantly. This could be what does it. Alright, we've got lots of things happening. It's still sort of managing, but now it's not. And guys, this screen's just come up. Oh, okay, it's just gone. This screen though, I'll put it up there because I highly doubt you saw it, but I've been recording with OBS as well, has literally just come on. Fantastic. So we have it, guys. We just about managed to crash Minecraft on the new PC. It's quite impressive and it took quite a lot of work, but we got there in the end and I personally am very chuffed. That being said though, I feel like we could do it in better and more creative ways, so let me know your suggestions down in the comment section, and there's a chance I'll do another video just like this one. But unfortunately, ladies and gents, that is all I've got time for today. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'll see you later.